A policeman has been killed and two other police officers wounded during an armed robbery in Bloemfontein. One of the robbers also died in a shootout between the robbers and police. Police responded to a call that four men had robbed a supermarket and a sergeant was shot in the head at the scene. The robbers then fled on foot with money and other items. They were again confronted by police, and a policewoman and policeman were wounded in the second shootout. One of the robbers was killed and another arrested. Police are searching for the remaining two robbers. The Health Minister, Aaron Motsoaledi, slammed the management at the George Masebe Hospital and the Department of Health in Limpopo following the deaths of four babies at the hospital outside Mokopane. The babies hadn't been attended to by a doctor for several days. The hospital has been operating with just 3 doctors since the beginning of the month after 6 others took leave. The minister says he will follow up on the case.
Where was the CEO when this was happening? Where was the district manager? Where were the bosses in the province? Because this happened right under their noses. Surely somebody should have picked up on the very first day that there is not a single doctor in any one hospital. I'm not talking about the theoretical situation. I know the practical situation of shortage of doctors, and I know it's not supposed to lead to death of babies in such large numbers.
A plastic manufacturing company's on fire in Brakpan on Gauteng's East Rand. Spokesperson for Disaster Management and Emergency Services, William Clady, says they're still fighting the fire, but the blaze is under control. He says people at neighboring factories have been evacuated.
The fire is contained, and our challenge at this point in time is the 9,000 liters of LPG gas tank that is situated within the burning material. So now we are fighting the fires surrounding that, and we are cooling the tank down. And even the underground tank of 10,000 liters of ethanol is also being cooled down.
Police and Prison Civil Rights Union pop crews condemned the violent riot by inmates at the Groenprint prison outside Denisville in the Free State. The union is calling on the Department of Correctional Services to address issues such as overcrowding in prisons. 9 wardens and dozens of prisoners were injured during the riot at the maximum security section. Prisoners set alight admin buildings and destroyed some cells. Pop crew spokesperson Teto Maklakwana.
More than anything, Pop Crew would like to raise awareness around the issue of prison overcrowding in comparison with the number of officials available at the facilities. What we would like to see happen after this instance is the department capacitating the number of officials that are there in the department to ensure that we do not see a repeat of such instances.
The Public Protector's Office has welcomed 100 trainee investigators who will help alleviate the backlog of cases. Last year it emerged during the Public Protector's appearance in Parliament that her office experiences a huge backlog due to a shortage of investigators. The Public Protector's Communications Manager, Opasigalwe.
This development will certainly come in handy because it will reduce the workload on our investigation team, resulting in more rigorous investigations that are concluded faster. In Gauteng alone, in the last financial year, we had about 11 investigators, and each of them was handling about 400 cases at a time. So you can see that this new development will certainly bring in some welcome relief.
The Mozambican government's told doctors who are on strike to look for jobs somewhere else if they cannot settle for what government is offering them. Doctors are demanding a wage hike of the equivalent of 27,000 rand. Government is offering around a third of that figure. Mozambique's health ministry says most of the striking doctors are junior and postgraduate doctors. The top story, a policeman has been killed and 2 other police officers wounded during an armed robbery in Bloemfontein. One of the robbers also died in a shootout between the robbers and police. Police responded to a call that 4 men had robbed a supermarket and a sergeant was shot in the head at the scene. The robbers then fled on foot. They were again confronted by police, and a policewoman and a policeman were wounded in the second shootout. One of the robbers was also killed and